On this edition of the program, live from the Young family compound in the great state of Florida, we interview a 2028 Democratic voter who is open to trying to find who will be the standard bearer for her in but a few years. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my mother joins the program yet again. Always a fan favorite. We're going to have a really good time. Plus, we catch up with a few things that have happened since we last talked on the free feed. Marjorie Taylor Greene, out. I got a little bit of inside information and a theory. Also, a humiliating day in court for the Trump administration. They're kind of the gang that doesn't see straight. And it looks like the peace deal between Russia and Ukraine not gonna do it. It's all coming up.
The following is brought to you by Just Another Pilot.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Politics program for November 26th, 2025. Your old pal Justin Robert Young joining you again from just, gorgeous weather here in Florida. Low 80s, got a little bit of a breeze coming off the man-made lake here. I mean, it's the kind of stuff that you fantasize about when you're shoveling snow up there in the Northeast, and I am very, very happy to bring you those vibes. I'm going to bring you an interview with my mom in a second, but before we do that, I want to go over a few things. Not a ton of news that's happening. There's just some popcorn things that I want to address here at the top. So a reminder, support us, takepoliticsseriously.com. First things first, Marjorie Taylor Greene, not only resigning, but resigning at the beginning of this year, meaning that the Republicans are going to lose a vote in the House until Brian Kemp can schedule a special election. From what I have heard, if he goes as fast as humanly possible, that isn't going to be until April, maybe May. And at that point, look, we're just into a year when not only do you have a lot of House members that are running in competitive districts for the House, but you also got a lot of them that are running for other offices, for big statewide offices. I think you have 2 or 3 that are running for governor, including in Georgia. But let's get back to Marjorie Taylor Greene and put a pin in the governorship of Georgia for a second. Why? You know, there's a big question as to how the falling out between the White House and Marjorie Taylor Greene got to the place that it did. It all stems back from the fact that there, was a memo that went out from Tony Fabrizio, Trump's pollster, to Marjorie Taylor Greene saying, by the way, look, we polled a lot of stuff. Doesn't seem that you can win statewide. And everybody that I know that knows things about Georgia will say the exact same thing. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a potent force. She could certainly turn out Republicans in the areas that you need to turn out. But if you look at statewide losses by Republicans in the state of Georgia, the problem is that even when you can maximize the outside the perimeter elements of Georgia, that is outside of the Atlanta metro, if you don't lose by less with the indies at the very least there, or the soft Republicans that used to be the kind of Nikki Haley Republicans, if you can't even just speak their language or make the stakes so high that they're not going to go with the other person, then it's hard to win. And so the Fabrizio memo was what it was. Now, the funny thing about that is that that was put out at a time when the thought was the Brian Kemp machine and the Trump machine would agree upon a candidate, and a merging of their houses would result in not only a Senate candidate, but a governor candidate that would be able to win. This was really about the Senate more than the governorship. And that never happened. Brian Kemp's machine has gotten behind this dude Dooley, Kemp was the thought of, the slam dunk to run for Senate. He decides not to. So now the son of the famous Georgia coach that has very little history in Georgia and even less personality or charisma is now running. Would Marjorie Taylor Greene have made sense there now in the Senate? Probably not much more than it did before, but still odd. We're in an odd situation. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene draws her line in the sand on the ACA credits. She was also very vocal about Iran. She's also very vocal about Israel, and she is one of the AIPAC people that, will yell and scream about AIPAC, which is very funny to me because when you talk to the AIPAC people who support AIPAC, they're like, I wish the organization that you're talking about was as competent as the opponents of AIPAC would imagine them to be. That being said, regardless of where you are on that side of the street, she's very fired up about it. And so not only do you get Marjorie Trader Brown, which is Trump's new nickname for her, but now she's out. And she puts the Republican majority in a bind. So my question to anybody that had any kind of idea about this was like, well, what's the scuttlebutt? Why'd she do it? And so far, I've heard, I don't know, Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't have a lot of friends in the House. She had a few people that she was kind of aligned with, but ultimately her power play was tied up with Kevin McCarthy. If you might remember, she was very dialed in on getting McCarthy elected. She was very mad when Kevin McCarthy got defenestrated. She does not have the same kind of relationship with Mike Johnson. She tried to depose Mike Johnson and failed. And so, without a lot of stuff to do in the House, the question is, where do you go from there? She wasn't going to get on any of the committees without, repairing the relationships that she had already kind of burnt. So then the question becomes, all right, well, she's now the kinder, gentler Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's on Real Time. She's on The View. She's on CNN. She's saying Nancy Pelosi was a great and important woman in the history of politics, when this is the same woman that would not make water if you were on fire. I'm going to say euphemistically, since many of you might be listening to this on Thanksgiving drives. Why are you doing this? So I have no reporting on this. This is just me thinking. All right, if you're Marjorie Taylor Greene, let's say you're not done with politics. There's one thought that just says, hey, you want to know what? Marjorie Taylor Greene's new locations for CrossFit gyms, open them up all over red states in the South, and you can probably make a lot of money. That's fine. She can be a fitness influencer. She can tell everybody to like and subscribe on her YouTube videos. That'll be fine. She could do that. She's still pretty famous. She could probably write a book. The thought is maybe she runs for president. Who knows? I don't know. But when I think about the pivot that she's made, I don't think it works nationally. She is too well defined nationally. Can it work with just wine moms in the Atlanta metro area that would otherwise hate her? Can the kinder, gentler Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is now a vociferous critic of President Trump, be somebody that is welcomed into the fold with the voters that blocked her from statewide viability? Those Fulton County, Cobb County women, usually. Maybe. I told this to somebody that's familiar with Georgia politics, and I'm like, look, I don't think it's a smart idea, but it's not the dumbest idea. And the response I got was, it's not the dumbest. So this is just my guess. I'm throwing spaghetti against the wall. Is this Governor Greene? Is this Senator Greene? That'd be very interesting. Totally separate. A family member that I talked to here went to a a lot of stuff is scattered because when you have, multiple family commitments, some people were doing Thanksgiving on Sunday. And so he went to a Thanksgiving dinner on Sunday. Very Republican, very Trump family. Furious with the president, stands with MTG. And this is Central Florida, right? So it's not like Mar-a-Lago, but, and very vociferous Israel critic. Like the reality of Israel's position is an albatross for many voters. Many voters are very skeptical of Israel. Skeptical is probably putting it mildly. Extraordinarily critical. Believe that it has undue influence on the United States. And, that's just part of the political landscape. Anybody who's going to navigate it needs to understand that. And we should have seen it coming because Kanye's always 2 years ahead of the culture. Moving on. Rush Hour 4. A report from, I forget who, I think it was Variety initially, that Donald Trump, in talking to David Ellison, the new owner of Paramount, saying that, he wants movies like Rush Hour to be made. Guess what? News today from Matthew Bellany that Rush Hour 4 coming your way. Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker in yet another action comedy, which dares to ask the question for the fourth time, do you know you should never touch a black man's radio? I'm excited. I don't know. I love the Rush Hour movies. They're really funny. Finally, a humiliating day for the Trump administration, specifically the Department of Justice and court. I got a friend of mine, works in government, and a couple weeks ago sent me, he's in the legal realm, and he sent me Donald Trump's truth that was directed toward Pam Bondi and then deleted, about how we need to, bring cases against James Comey, against Letitia James, against Adam Schiff. And he asked me, hey, just worry you, because it worries me. This is a clear breakdown of one of the most important elements of the American governmental system. You should not have executives that are directing the Department of Justice to do X, Y, and Z. If we lose faith in the Department of Justice as an impartial arbiter to law, then that is something that is very, very important. It was very important to him. So I was like, look, we'll see how it goes. And then in the intervening time, charges are brought against James Comey, charges are brought against Letitia James. Still no charges against Adam Schiff just yet, but there might be a reason why, and it's because of what happened this week. My friend emails me back and says, hey, by the way, following up on this, what do you think about it now? And I was like, well, look, it's the Comey case and the Letitia James case are interesting, mostly because the Comey stuff has been around for a very long time. James Comey is somebody that has pissed off every element of our political spectrum. He was the jerk who cost Hillary Clinton the election. Then he was the jerk that caused Russiagate to happen and entrapped the president and spiked essentially his first 2 years in office. And then the Letitia James case, which, Letitia James obviously has her own history of bringing weaponized cases, brought the case against Donald Trump, ran on bringing the case against Donald Trump. She's brought up on mortgage fraud charges, which are a little less serious than what was brought up against Comey. But still, would those charges have ever been filed if she were not an antagonist against President Trump? Almost certainly not. Doesn't mean she's not guilty. I don't know. And right now, we're never going to know. Well, we'll certainly never know about Comey, because this case was brought by the Trump Department of Justice so recklessly and so quickly that a judge tossed it out on procedural grounds because of questions about whether or not Comey was actually indicted by a grand jury. Letitia James was dismissed for different reasons. James can be refiled. Comey cannot. it would be double jeopardy. So Comey, free. He's organizing seashells on the beach, talking about how cool Taylor Swift is into his vlog as we speak, because that man has no worry of prison time. And so the question then becomes, well, if what you are hoping for by voting for Donald Trump is change to the government, if what you are hoping for is that you continue to get things that are corrective to a broken system, and if you view James Comey as a part of that problem, and you need to have consequences with a capital C, or else people will keep doing it over and over and over again in the deep state, well, you can't do this slapdash. This has got to be dot your I's, cross your T's. So for however much people were complaining about Jack Smith for slow walking his cases, I don't think that was the case. But the other side is this. You rush these cases, you rush the filing, you make mistakes, and now it's over. Now, that being said, I'm happy that all these cases have fallen apart, because I don't think that whenever you get into political-based prosecutions, it's not good. All it does is invite reprisals. And, now we're at where we're at. But without a doubt, this is a problem. This is a humiliating day for the Trump administration. I'm going to tie it back to something that might be a problem for him politically going forward. Punchbowl has a story out yesterday saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene leaving that majority in a lurch is enticing for some other members, because they're not having a good time right now in the Republican majority. Now, you're always going to hear a lot of grumbling in any kind of majority. That being said, I've heard from people that are connected to people that are close, right? These are MAGA acolytes, big supporters of the president. And they don't have big asks. There are some issues, like, for example, the Venezuelan boats, for which these people just want something. They just want a little bit, a tidbit. They just want to know a little bit of why these boats are getting blown up. They want somebody in a uniform to come into a room and say, we identified the tail number for reasons we can't disclose. We believe that this was the person, and so we took kinetic action and compromised them to a permanent end, as John Cena once said about Osama bin Laden. And they're not getting that. And this is an endemic problem with the administration, something that you hear a lot about. You heard it in that Punchbowl reporting, that the administration doesn't allow little victories, the little creature comforts that the House majority needs. It's just ask. Now, from the White House, you would likely hear, like, shut up. How about you got elected and you wouldn't have gotten elected if we didn't power you through? And maybe that's the answer. But there's a lot of grumblies. I'll just put it this way. You are 2 retirements away from Republicans surrendering the majority. Do 2 people hate them that bad to do it? I don't think it's going to happen. But just like people asking you, are we in a recession? You never want to be asked the question. All right. Here's my mom. Hello, Mom. How are you?
Hello, Justin.
It's a lovely day today,
It is.
isn't it?
It's hot. Too hot for Thanksgiving.
think it's hot?
Too hot.
82 degrees?
Too hot.
Where do you like it on a Thanksgiving?
Oh, like low 70s would be perfectly.
Brisk.
Yeah. It makes you feel a little bit more like fall. You know, Florida's tough for the holidays because of the weather.
What do you mean tough?
It's because
People come from all over the Northeast to be here during the holidays for this weather.
I know, but when you live here all year round, you long.
You want it to, yeah. Because when it gets good down here during the winter, it's like immaculate. It's amazing. It's the best.
You long for that cooler weather that's, a little bit more crisp and just reminds you a little bit more of fall and the holidays and winter and, But we have a few more months, 2 more months probably before we'll feel that. Anyway.
It's usually January, right? When it gets like
Typically.
Well, there's always like 2 weeks where it's like actually cold.
We had a super cold front that hit us a couple of weeks ago. It got down to 37.
Audi. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's extraordinarily cold for Central Florida.
Yeah. I think you in Austin got a big chill as well. Maybe you were away.
I don't live at my house.
You might have been on the road.
November, I think I stayed at my house like 4 days. I was on the road a lot. Anyway, I wanted to have you on because there's a tradition in politics where, especially in early states like Iowa, New Hampshire, there will be organizations that will yearly take straw polls of who people support. Just to give a sense for like that big primary season, like who's resonating, who have people heard about. And at some point, the Democratic Party is going to have to realize that if they want to be nationally competitive, they should figure out Florida because eventually the census is going to turn against them and Florida is going to be just as winnable as any of these other states. And it's going to be actually gaining electoral votes as opposed to losing electoral votes.
Right.
So I suspect in 28 there will be people that I'm going to name for you that'll be running for president that will say that they very much believe they can win Florida. They very much want your vote. And so what I want is to just get here in 2025, the earliest part of the primary season, the nascent shadow primary, who you know and what your thoughts are. And then at the very end, I will ask you for your top 3.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. I'm ready.
Stephen A. Smith.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of Stephen A. Smith.
Nope.
He's rumored to be running for president. Okay. He is one of the most famous men on sports television.
Oh.
He's a very animated
That's probably why
black
I don't
gentleman.
know.
You might have recognized him if you just were at any time at a restaurant that plays ESPN in the middle of the day on mute.
Okay. That's even more why I've never heard of him.
You probably never heard of him.
No, I definitely have never heard of him.
He wants to bring common sense. This is his thing to the Democratic Party. He's very boisterous.
Okay.
He would be somebody that if he ever made the stage for a Democratic debate, I think, like Trump did in 2016, the camera would find him. He would have the most
animated. He gains a lot of attention, in other words, in his ways.
And he famously debates. This is his thing. He became famous on a show called First Take, which is it's ESPN's morning show, and it's just them arguing topics like, are the Cowboys for real? And he goes on these monologues, and he's a very compelling television figure, divisive because he's on a lot.
But he's never been involved in politics. Never. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see.
In general, as an outsider, what do you think about outsiders? Like, never held an office before. But
I think it really depends on their background and their experience. And even if they haven't been in politics, I can respect someone as long as they have a good, solid background, education, and they speak to issues that I think are important.
Yeah. His thing is like, don't make me run. Like, he wants a centrist person to run that is not too far to the left. And he this is a thing that
so he's almost like he's taunting others to to kind of say, hey, if somebody else doesn't come up, I'm going to do it.
There was a moment. Are you familiar who James Carville is?
Yeah.
He was a Clinton guy, right?
Yeah, I know him.
And so James Carville, also a very compelling, charismatic speaker on television, was very animated about how Stephen A. Smith running for president was a ridiculous concept, and he was like, stay in your lane.
Right.
And Stephen A. Smith, who has this like almost threatening tone at times, is like, do you want to make me study and get in this race? I don't think you do. Like that kind of thing.
I have a feeling I wouldn't like him.
Me too.
Okay.
All right.
Let's move on.
I was just curious. Amy Klobuchar. I'm going to go off. This is the Real Clear Politics list of people that are currently polling in New Hampshire.
Okay.
And actually, here, before we do that, I'm going to have one more name. You don't have, if you've never heard of him, then you don't have to say anything.
Okay.
Rahm Emanuel.
Oh, I remember him.
What do you know when I say Rahm Emanuel? What do you think?
He was initially in Obama's cabinet
Administration, yeah.
and he was very vocal, somewhat crude.
Yeah.
And I can't remember whether he resigned on his own. There was some sort of a spat right off the bat.
He was not particularly well liked internally.
Yeah.
He left. His nickname was the Godfather, so somebody apparently gave him a fish wrapped in newspaper on the way out. He also, I believe, when he was a congressman, got into a fight while naked in the sauna.
Yeah, he had a lot of weird history.
Okay.
And I don't think I would support him at all.
He's another one that very much believes that a centrist should be the nominee. All right,
Yeah.
So let's go to people that are polling.
Okay.
Amy Klobuchar.
Yeah, I like Amy.
You like Amy? When I say Amy Klobuchar, what do you think?
She's Minnesota senator, right?
Yeah.
I've heard her a lot, and I like what she has to say. She seems very logical. I think she would be a great candidate, either for president or vice president.
I know a funny story about Amy Klobuchar. So there was a scandal during the Biden administration where two gentlemen, one of whom was a staffer of a senator, they were gay gentlemen. They took pictures of themselves copulating.
Okay.
Inside a hearing room, a Senate hearing room.
Oh my God.
And then it got out. They posted it to a group chat and somebody snitched.
Right.
The chair they were in was Amy Klobuchar's, and the Democrats never used that room again. And the rest of the Biden administration, that room was been
off limits,
defiled. And the rumor that I heard was it was because Amy Klobuchar's like, I'm not sitting in that seat.
I can't blame her.
Yeah.
I really can't blame her.
Yeah.
So
you're saying that's leadership. I'm not sitting in that seat.
She took a stance.
She did.
That's what she believed.
Well, she certainly wasn't going to take a sit in that chair, I'll tell you that.
No, I like her.
All right.
I've always liked her. Yeah.
Ben Shapiro.
Is he the very low speaker doctor of some sort?
No. He
who is he
the
again?
governor of Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was Josh Shapiro.
Josh Shapiro.
Yeah.
I said Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro is a conservative commentator.
Okay.
Josh Shapiro.
Josh Shapiro.
My brain has been melted.
I like him.
You like Josh Shapiro?
I like him.
Yeah.
Yes. And he was at one point in the running to be
vice president.
Yeah, vice president with Kamala.
Controversial that the Kamala team says that he was kind of measuring that the conversation was more demanding what he was going to be promised as vice president as opposed to being honored that he would be selected.
Be chosen, right.
But that was in
so
hindsight
he was a little bit more
weird. It was a weird selection process because you actually had a lot of people that were like taking their names out. And it's like, that never happens. Nobody, like, it's like a direct insult. Like, you're afraid to take your name out because you believe if the person who's going to win, you're going to be persona non grata to that person if you take your name out.
Right.
Like the whole point is that if the president asks you to serve, you are going to serve. But you had people taking their name out. Josh Shapiro didn't.
Right.
And it was looked at as kind of the easy play. Like white, straight.
Right.
Popular governor.
Came from a swing state.
Have to win.
Yep.
Jewish.
But he didn't get. Yeah. So no biggie.
Well, that was. I mean,
that was the deciding factor.
You know, the war in Israel, very controversial.
That's terrible.
We were talking about this in the intro, but and this is not on one side or the other these days. But like Israel's skepticism is a big thing these days.
Yeah, I realize that, but again, I wouldn't just because he's Jewish, I certainly wouldn't put him in some sort of a no bucket.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty closed-minded, actually.
Well, Tim Walz, he was the selection.
Yeah, no, and I get that. But, I mean, Josh Shapiro, I would have liked either one of them. Yeah. Honestly.
He kind of talks like Obama. What do you think about Democratic politicians that kind of sound like they're doing an impression of Barack Obama? Because Josh Shapiro is one of them.
Copycats?
Yeah. They go like, wow.
Well,
yeah.
Long pause. Yeah.
Like there's a few. John Ossoff in Georgia, the Georgia senator, he does it. Josh Shapiro definitely does it. I think Ossoff does it more than Shapiro.
Yeah, I never picked up on that when I heard Josh Shapiro speak.
Next time, listen for it.
Yeah, I'll pay closer attention.
So positive though.
Yeah, I like him.
Okay.
I like
Cory
him.
Booker.
I like Cory Booker. I don't know. I'd have to think about him a little bit more.
What immediately pops to mind?
I'm afraid he's a little too fiery.
Fiery?
Yeah.
You think he's too passionate?
Yeah, a little bit too much because, I guess maybe the clips that I've seen of him.
He's always yelling.
Have been, very passionate arguments on the Senate floor.
Yeah.
And I always kind of thought like, I get your passion and I appreciate that, but I don't know. That's my impression of him. I like him. He's logical. He seems like an intelligent guy, but I don't know how I would feel about supporting him for president.
Yeah. He ran before. Didn't do great.
Yeah.
Now he certainly has a national
following.
Profile. I don't know about following.
Yeah.
He has a national profile. A lot of people know who he is.
A lot of people know who he is, no question. I mean, probably for the very reason of what I just said.
Yeah.
That some of his fiery speeches get publicized more, so people have just heard of him a little bit more.
Let me show you his engagement photos.
Oh, there's engagement photo. Are you going to show that on camera?
Yeah, we'll have Will.
Oh, okay.
We'll have Will punch him in. Oh my God, they're so good. On a scale from like 1 to super normal.
Is he just recently engaged?
Very recently engaged. Oh man, this is not. I want this to load perfectly. Just like, how normal of a photo is that? Like, if you just had two friends that were getting engaged and that was the photo they posted,
right?
Would you be like, oh, that's a normal thing that normally happens when people get engaged? They're just both screaming at the top of their lungs while one of them carries the other one?
Well, my thoughts with this is that the photographer probably said to them, do something silly and crazy and just...
That's another one.
So there's more traditional photos.
Yeah.
So, that was probably just the photographer saying, give me something crazy. So he picked her up and they were probably giggling.
Gotcha.
And,
so not odd.
No.
You would not find that odd?
No, not at all. Good. It shows he's human. He's, he's normal. He does silly things. That's okay.
So you'd say that is a normal thing that happens?
Especially when you're getting professional photos done and the photographer wants to catch you in some sort of a non-traditional pose. Yeah.
Seemed like a lot of screaming to me, but who am I?
Well, I couldn't hear them. I could only see.
I could hear them in my head.
And assume, but I didn't. You don't know. They could have been laughing, not screaming.
Scream laughing. Like
Whatever.
the Joker.
Whatever.
That's like a normal thing
Is
to
that
do
like
when you
Bella's
get engaged.
evil laugh?
Yeah, Bella has a Bernie Sanders.
Oh, Bernie. Look, Bernie's passion is to be commended. But again, he's too old.
Okay, so I'm curious because we went through a vortex.
He's too old.
Yeah.
We got to get away from the old guys,
Yeah.
the old white guys. We just got to move on.
So if Bernie Sanders was Latino, would you be
No,
more
because
into
he's
supporting
still too old.
Okay, but
how old is he now?
him? 97,000.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be.
And he's probably
in
not
his-
going to run. He's probably not going to run. He has signaled that he's not going to run.
Yeah.
But he's still polling well in some of these.
Well, because I mean, everybody loves him, and
Yeah.
I don't doubt that he's been an incredible civil servant for
Mm-hmm.
so many years, and he speaks the truth, and he has, he's very passionate about what he believes, and I mean, all of that is great, but it's just the age thing.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about the age thing.
Yeah, and that's why I thought that you were going to be a little bit more fired up about Biden, but Trump was kind of on the rise, and at that point, it was any port in a storm.
Oh my God! I mean, it would have been anybody but Trump for
Yeah.
me. So, that it didn't matter.
How
at
old
that
do
point.
you think, if you could set a age limit to be president, how old would you set it?
75 at the max.
Yeah,
Yeah,
75.
75.
What do you think? What do you think is the line at 75? Like, what happens?
I just feel like stamina,
Yeah,
both physical, mental, you start to decline.
yeah,
And, when you've got such an incredibly stressful role to play, you can't afford to be in any way, less than on the top of your game.
yeah.
So, I just think that for their own good, even,
Yeah.
I mean, look at every president, they come into office young and not every, because now we've had
These
Biden
days.
and Trump,
Yeah,
but
exactly,
in
yeah.
the past,
In bygone eras.
a president would come in young and healthy and leave with gray hair and
Yeah.
kind of looking beaten,
Yeah.
and if you're going to start out old and beaten, it's only going to get worse.
It's only going to get worse. You would still be able to run under the Gloria Young rule of 75, right?
Well, I guess that would be a question to be decided. Would it be that you would be able to run up to that age, or would you have to serve out your term before 75?
Yeah, but you would still be able to do that.
In other
right?
words, like if you're 74 and 8 months
Yeah.
when you're elected, and you're going to be 78 by
Yeah.
the time your term's over, and possibly 82.
Mhm.
It's too freaking old.
Too old. But you are, not to give away your age, but it's a meme now.
6'7".
6'7".
6'7".
You've never been hipper.
That's right.
This is the coolest age you could possibly be. You're an instant connection with Gen Alpha.
That's
You can just be
right.
like, yeah, 6'7".
And my grandkids published it to their teachers and all their friends.
Oh, really?
My Nona's 6'7".
6'7". It's very funny. JB Pritzker.
He's Maryland governor?
No, one more time. Try it again. That's Wes Moore, but we can do him next.
He's one of the governors
He
has
is.
been very critical of the current administration.
He is.
What state? I can't remember.
Illinois.
Illinois. That's right.
What
That's
else
right.
do you
He
think
was
about when
Chicago.
you think of JB Pritzker?
I don't really know. I haven't. don't make fun.
What? It's a notable. If he stands up on stage with everybody else, like it's gonna be one of these things is not like the other.
Well, for the most part, I've only seen him from like the neck up.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen the full body, but
I mean, if he's up on stage and Bernie isn't, they're gonna think he ate him. He's a big boy.
I have not really heard a lot about or listened to a lot about Pritzker, and except recently when he was so annoyed with Trump sending troops into Chicago and all of that. So, he was a little bit more public. I saw him on a few different YouTube clips or the news or whatever. But I don't really know a whole lot more about him.
Yeah.
So I would have to research him to see where he stands.
Neutral, though.
Yeah, I would say neutral.
You like the fact that he's fighting the administration?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone that fights back against this administration is on my good list.
So this is a big thing that now that we've gone over a few of these that separates somebody like J.B. Pritzker, and we'll get to the governor of California in a second, but Josh Shapiro and somebody else we haven't mentioned, Gretchen Whitmer, is that there are kind of two lanes. There's one lane where it's like, we're running for the president right now, and the best thing that you can do to run for president is to make a very big deal about how we are fighting against the administration. We're pulling every lever. We are going to talk about it on talk shows whenever we can. Or you have the Josh Shapiro, Gretchen Whitmer lane, who are like, you want to know what? People really just want government that works.
Right.
I don't need to be on every talk show, because if I'm on every talk show, if I'm chasing every headline, then I'm not serving the people of Michigan. I'm not serving the people of Pennsylvania.
Which that's very honorable.
But there's these two lanes because, like, if voters like you are like, I recognize a fighter, I want a fighter because I feel that this administration is lawless and I need somebody who, when they see lawlessness, is going to react like the house is actually on fire. Right. Then there's a bit of a disconnect there.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I didn't really think about that, but I think
those are the two lanes that are emerging.
I think there's no question that even the Gretchen Whitmer or the Josh Shapiro lane,
not Ben.
Even though they may be saying, look, we just want to focus on making government work, there's no question that they disagree with the fact that government is not working right now.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it's a more mellow approach that they're taking. Maybe they're not quite as vocal about their disagreement with the current administration, but they clearly know that and feel that it needs tremendous improvement.
What do you think about, there are two governors that we've mentioned, but I haven't gotten your opinion on very quickly, Gretchen Whitmer and Wes Moore.
I don't know Wes Moore.
He's the young, charismatic governor of Maryland.
Okay, him I don't know at all.
Black guy, bald head. You've probably seen him.
I don't know him at all.
No, that matters. That matters that you have that right now he's
no
not
opinion
on the radar.
on him. Gretchen Whitmer, I love her.
One of the ones that took her name out of the running for Kamala Harris.
I love her.
Yeah,
I really do.
When I say Gretchen Whitmer, what do you think of immediately?
She's a very strong woman. She has all the right. I mean, I think what she's done for Michigan has been amazing, and I would love for her to be able to do the same for the country.
States.
Yeah.
There's an article a couple days ago saying that maybe she's not going to run. Maybe she's just kind of had it. And, she likes being governor, but doesn't have the fire in the belly, as they say, to run for president.
Well, I mean, I can certainly understand that too. The grind of the political life has got to be draining.
Especially these days. I mean, you got to be on for 3 years straight.
Well, and not only that, she got death threats and, people chasing her down. And so, I mean, I think if I were in that...
the details behind that? The whole kidnap the governor thing?
I mean, not that I could recite them back to you.
It was an FBI thing. They were
They were tracking her down?
No. Well, they were it was oftentimes to find extremists, I'm going to use this in the most friendly terms possible.
Okay.
To find extremists, you have either informants to the FBI or FBI agents themselves that infiltrate these organizations and then suggest things like, man, we should kidnap the governor.
Oh, so it was kind of a sting.
Well,
That's what they're saying?
One way to say it.
Okay.
The FBI would say it like that.
Right.
Other people would say entrapment. But,
Okay.
who's to judge? I'm not a legal scholar.
Right.
The government did eventually succeed in prosecuting that case, though. So for whatever that is worth.
But yeah, I mean, as a woman myself, with a family, I would be concerned, when you're dealing with some crazies that are going to threaten your life. So anyway, but I like her.
You like Gretchen Whitmer?
I do.
Okay. This is somebody who is polling #1 nationally, has not relinquished the lead, but here in New Hampshire, on aggregate, polling 4th, and that is the former Vice President of the United States, the former Democratic nominee for president, Kamala Harris. Your thoughts on reloading Kamala and
I don't
putting
think it's a
putting her
good
back
idea.
in the chute?
Not for president.
Not for president. Because she passed on, she could have been governor of California without blinking her eye, would have cleared the entire field.
Yeah, I think her, she tested the waters. I just don't think that she would win the election.
She has run unsuccessfully twice.
Yeah. I like Kamala, but I just don't think she's the right pick at this time.
So you have lost faith in her ability to win.
I've lost faith in her ability to win.
Okay.
Not that I've lost faith in her ability or her. Yeah.
What is the disconnect? What is she missing from her ability to win?
Look, I would probably vote for her if
Yeah.
she were the Democratic candidate,
Maybe not immediately in the primary.
Right.
Obviously, your mind is still open.
Right. But I just don't think that she has, I just don't think that she would be able to garner, enough support to win. And if she didn't do it last time, which I honestly question that.
Oh, you blew it on?
But let's not go
Was
there
Elon
right
changing?
now.
Elon was changing the vote counts with Starlink? Are you there? Oh my God.
But let's not go there.
We won't go there.
Anyway, if she didn't win last time, I don't see how she would win
yeah, this time.
This time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Feels
it's
like-
not to say, though, that it couldn't happen in the future.
I don't know how many new tricks. she has,
2032, but just more experience. If she's going to stay in the mix of politics, I don't know.
It's hard to
You
say
never
that you
know.
need more experience when you've been vice president.
Yeah.
Like that, usually it's like that's the top job that you would say, I have all the experience I
Yeah.
could need because I've watched the job
I
happen
watched
right in front
how
of me.
everything happens.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I don't know. I just don't think
I was surprised she didn't run for governor. I would have felt like that
I am
would have
surprised
been,
about that too.
that
For
would have been a
sure,
slam
she
dunk. Oh,
said
yeah.
no.
She's out. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Katie Porter is right now leading. You've had a few more people get in. Eric Swalwell
Okay.
is in now, and Tom Steyer, a billionaire.
Okay. Yeah.
But
He was running, wasn't
For
he in the
president.
early? Yeah, in the early stages.
I was at a very, very weird
Is that the one where he got up and did some wonky dance?
Juvenile, the rapper who has famously his hit song is "Back That Ass Up."
Right. Didn't he get
He
up on
performed
stage and
Tom
did
Steyer
that?
and his family were up there. And so it was a very weird moment in political history that your son was
you were
in the
there?
room for.
That's why I think I was so aware of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I literally left that event to go meet for the first time and have dinner with two journalists by the name of Ryan Lizza and Olivia Nuzzi, who are now very much in the news for things that we can get into if you want. But
Oh, no, that's okay.
yeah.
All right, let's move
Yeah.
on.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC. So we talk about
AOC.
Bernie not running.
Right.
It is thought that if there was a progressive champion in the 2028 race that would inherit all of the Bernie
Bernie's
support, that would inherit all of the donor network, a lot of the talent that ran Bernie's campaign,
Right.
it would be
AOC.
You look, we don't need any of these old white guys.
Yeah.
Not old,
No.
not white,
Right.
not a guy.
Right. Right.
What do you think about AOC?
I think for the reasons that she would have the backing of the Bernie supporters, she has a shot.
What do you think of her?
I
Very
like
politician
her.
answer.
I like her. I like her. I don't know if I'd be able to vote for her for president, though.
What's stopping you?
I don't know. Mainly because she's a little bit too green, I guess, in politics. Even though she's risen, you know, the ranks very quickly.
She's been around for pretty much as long as this entire kind of Trump era has happened.
Has she been in Congress for 8 years?
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
8?
I don't know. I think she came in the Trump's first midterm.
Okay.
So 2018.
Okay.
So we're coming up on it. I mean, like she's
She's been 6 years.
novice.
By the time it would be time for her to run, she would have 10 years behind her.
Yeah. In the House, though.
In the
Very
House.
rarely do House members
Run for president.
Well, they often run. They very rarely kind of.
I'd rather see her go into the Senate.
Well, that's the other rumor.
I'd rather see her take, like, if one of these, like you were talking about, Swalwell or Katie Porter, they're senators, right?
No.
Oh, they're both.
Well, Porter's out of.
She's out of politics
she's
completely
she's
now?
temporarily out. You
And
know,
Swalwell's not a senator?
No, representative.
Oh, okay. But I would rather see her. I think her transition should be to Senate.
So the rumor is that Chuck Schumer is not going to run again.
And there you go. She
And-
could take that role.
And that would be the New York.
She
Senate
could
seat.
take that role.
Although
That's-
also a rumor that Andrew Cuomo might still not be done with politics and might want to run for.
He needs to give it up already. But I wouldn't be surprised if he ran. That's exactly what he'll do.
Yeah.
He'll run for Senate.
When did you sour on Andrew Cuomo? Because he was like a hero to people during
He
COVID.
He was.
And then what happened?
It's not that I really soured on him. It's just that I feel like his flair has just fizzled.
Yeah, he got bumped
He
out
just-
of his office by way of sexual harassment.
Yeah.
scandals.
And, you know,
He did have one of the
that's-
greatest lines of all time, saying, "I'm not perverted. I'm just Italian. I touch people.
Right.
I'm Italian.
I'm a huggy,
I'm not perverted."
touchy-feely
Yeah.
kind of guy.
That's one of the funniest things that anyone has ever said in politics.
Right.
I'm not perverted. I'm just Italian.
But, yeah, I mean, we're not talking about him for president. You're talking about him for Senate.
I mean, you never know with him,
But
that was always the end goal for him. The end goal was president.
to president. Yeah. I mean, if his career hadn't, blown up like that, then not blown up in a good way, but blown up in a negative way,
Yeah.
he probably would have had a shot.
Coming out of COVID, yeah.
Because he did. He had a lot of support, and he was on.
Although also it's like as soon as everybody kind of got down to earth, then you realize like, oh, he did send a bunch of old people to die in nursing homes.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Good Lord.
That was a bad. It's hard to get a. And then you want to know what the crazy thing was? So he runs this just absolutely sleepwalk of a race against Minsa Star in Zohran Mamdani. Right? There's no reason why. For all, take nothing away from Zohran Mamdani's campaign, which I thought was excellent. There's no reason why he should beat Andrew Cuomo with the name ID and the money that was behind Andrew Cuomo in the primary. Once it gets into the general, then and Zohran's the Democratic nominee, it was fait accompli. But like Cuomo just sleepwalks through it, gets his ass kicked, runs again for the
Right.
general under an independent line,
Right.
and just sleepwalks then
Through that.
until like literally the election day. He's on Fox, so he's appealing to more of the conservative or middle of the
Right.
road, or also just people watching cable news because none of the other channels get ratings these days.
Right.
And he's like, I would like to apologize for the nursing homes thing. And it's like, now? Now's when on election day,
Right?
Did it occur to you that
To
maybe
talk
do
about
this
that
before?
a few months back? Really? No kidding. No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that his ship has sailed.
Done.
Yeah.
So AOC, you would like to see her for Senate, not for president.
I would like to see her for Senate.
Would
I
you
think
say
that's
it's
a
more
good
of her
transition
personally
for
or her politics?
No, I don't have any problem with her politics.
Like Medicare for
I just think
all
she
or
needs
a higher
more.
tax rate?
I think she needs more experience in government before she runs for president.
Got you. All right.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom.
Well, I really like him.
You really like Gavin Newsom.
I would vote for him, no question.
So would you say that, like, right now, of all the names that I've said,
Gavin Newsom would be my first choice.
You would support him?
Yep.
Is it his sterling track record of success in California?
I just think that he has all the elements of, what it takes to be a good president. Mm-hmm. He's run, one of the largest states in the country.
No complaints from anyone there.
Well, I mean, there's always going to be somebody who's going to complain about something.
Sure.
But I just think that he has the passion. He has experience in government. He has charisma.
Got the riz.
He's got, he's very knowledgeable. I just like him. He's got all kinds of good ticks in the positive column for me.
Yeah. He doesn't strike you as a little like wishy-washy or kind of
not at all.
Go where the wind blows?
No. I would never think of describing him as wishy-washy.
Okay.
Nope.
Man,
So, yeah.
It's going to be really hard if he's the guy, because I have like such personal feelings about his job as governor. But
you always
I'm a professional.
You always vote for me anyway.
I do,
so
yeah. But I mean, I don't
matter.
want it to, like, very rarely do I have a kind of personal
feelings about a candidate.
Well, yeah. Like, very rarely do I feel that my life has been personally affected by a presidential candidate.
Okay.
Like, this one,
Was he governor when you were living in California?
Oh, yes.
How long has he been governor?
8 years.
Okay.
He's ending his second term, his second 8-year term.
Okay.
He survived a recall.
Right.
But, yeah, I have notes. I have notes as a former resident, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
All right.
So Newsom is your number one, but
yeah,
I'm going to tell you that the number one polling candidate is not Gavin Newsom in New Hampshire.
Who is it?
Pete Buttigieg.
Well, you know how I feel about Pete.
Gavin Newsom is out. Pete is in.
Is Pete talking about running?
Oh, Pete's running.
He is?
Oh, Pete's running.
Well, I
Pete
love
moved
Pete.
his family to Michigan so he could be a resident of a swing state. Pete is running.
I love Pete.
Mm-hmm. Do you still love Pete?
I still love Pete.
Yeah?
Yep.
What is the number one thing that you think distinguishes Pete Buttigieg as a presidential candidate and possible president?
I mean, I just think that his intelligence, his logic, his demeanor, I mean, everything about him, I just love him.
Yeah.
And when he opens his mouth, he actually answers questions with intelligence and logic. And, he speaks the truth, something we've been lacking for so many years. Well, gosh, I guess it's only been a year and then 4 years prior to that, that we've been lacking truth.
The truth.
But yeah, I've been a big Pete supporter from day one.
You've been on Pete for a minute.
Love Pete.
Yeah.
Love him.
All right, so here we go. Let me ask you. We'll go 3-1 because I think everybody's going to be interested in which of your two boys you're going to give the blessing to right now. And we'll follow up on you on this with you.
I can tell
as
you
we
right
go forward.
now.
Who's 3? Who's the bronze?
Klobuchar.
Klobuchar. So of everybody else, of Shapiro, Ocasio-Cortez, Booker, Pritzker.
Klobuchar would be my
Stephen
number
A. Smith.
3.
Klobuchar is number 3.
Yep.
So here we go. Don't even give me 2. Give me number 1 because we know you're top 2.
Pete.
Pete's the number 1.
Yeah.
Newsom number 2.
So it would be Pete, Newsom, and Klobuchar. Yeah.
There we go. So Klobuchar is your number one female candidate.
Yes.
There will likely be a host of female candidates that will run.
And
is
I
there,
would
is there
love
anything
to
specifically like as a female candidate that you believe that she has? Because I'm going to detect, and just because I've known you for a while now,
No.
that part of the reason why you say Kamala Harris can't win is some of the electability argument on her being a woman,
being a woman.
right? What separates Klobuchar to the idea that she would be able to get over that hill?
Well, unfortunately, as much as I like her, I still do believe that the country in general is not ready for a female president. As much as I think the country needs a female president.
Yeah.
Desperately needs
They need somebody
a
to say,
female.
I'm not sitting in that chair.
Yeah.
I seen what you did.
But I just have a feeling that the majority are still, off-put by a female president.
Yeah. Uphill climb.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the right one could win
I
pretty
mean-
easily. Like, I think that it's a differentiator like anything else, but it's like in politics, sometimes all you're doing is trying to hunt for a differentiator. You're trying to find something that sets you apart. Unfortunately, the problem with the large argument of like, oh, you're not going to elect a woman is that the two most prominent examples were women that had very challenging circumstances.
Right.
One was like one of the most unpopular politicians in a
Right,
generation.
unfortunately.
And the other, had to make the decision, do I totally disavow this very unpopular person that just gifted me
this opportunity?
Or, and this is what she took, do I pretend that he was an awesome president and that there's no reason that I'm the nominee right now, and just kind of soldier on? And like that's hard. It, like for anybody, if you were a man and you were the most unpopular politician of a generation, or you were in the situation that Kamala was in, you would be facing an uphill climb.
There's no question. Both of those circumstances for both of those candidates were very unfortunate.
And I don't think that has anything to do with their gender. Like, I think
I would agree.
Those situations were unique to Hillary Clinton's very distinguished career.
Yeah.
It had to do with Hillary Care. It had to do with her running in New York and not Arkansas.
She had too
or
much
Illinois.
baggage. She had
to do
too
with
much
the Iraq
baggage.
War vote. It had to do with Monica. It had to do with like all these things, right?
So many things that were in her past. She had too much history.
Too much. And also she got run over by Obama, and then instead of just being like, all right, that was the end for me.
Right.
You anointed this guy. She was like, no, I'll wait 8 years.
Yeah.
And then run
try
again. And clear the entire field to make sure that there are no Obamas.
Right.
And then still lost.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those are, and then the other side of it is like, and I know that this is the unpleasant side of it, is that like, there was a political realignment and there was a realignment candidate that ran against both of them that was able to beat him.
Yes, unfortunately.
Anyway, all right, so there we go. We have the initial Gloria Young rankings.
Straw poll.
Top 3.
Yep.
Amy Klobuchar, Gavin
number
Newsom.
3, Gavin Newsom. Number 2, Pete Buttigieg.
There we
number
go.
1. Yep.
Thank you very much.
Pete's my man.
Thank you very much, Mom.
You're welcome.
Love you.
Love you
Happy
too.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and all of your listeners.
And that'll wrap it up for us today. Politics brought to you by everybody who supports us at TakePoliticsSeriously.com. It was written and recorded by me, Justin Robert Young. Big thank you to my mom for showing up. Our editor and producer is Will Saddleberg. You can send me an email, theyoungamerican@gmail.com. Of course, support the show. I am thankful on this Thanksgiving for you, the people who support this show. Head on over to TakePoliticsSeriously.com. $12 a month is what we ask. Less than a price of a cup of coffee for the amount of episodes that you're going to get, because there'll be 2 extra ones each and every week. That's 4 episodes each and every week. And thank you. Thank you. There's only one way to get your name read at the end of the show, and that is these folks in the foundational tier Roll the clip. Sonny Black, L3PO, Peepaw, Scott, Middle-Aged Mike, Tom, Nick, Sarah Jeannie, Jeremy, Pro Idiot, Chiller Tomatoes, Neil, Casey. Oh yeah, it's Adam. AB Puppy, Dr. Whiskey, Fat Tony's PJs from New York, Will, The Board B, Michael, Matt, DP4 Bongo, Andrew, Edwin, Sam, Andrew, Phil, Edison, Paul, Gloria Young, A Dog Named Truckers, Jerry, Trucker, John, Berkeley, Stephen, and Zombie Duck. And with that, no Friday episode because Thanksgiving. I am thankful to all of you. No, actually, no, let me do my Candace Owens. I will not be doing a Friday episode because a French hit team and one Jew are after me to kill me. I have alerted the president, and it is on him now to take action. But we'll see you on December 1st. That's a ridiculous story. At some point, I have to actually just have a conversation about Candace Owens. I really don't want to feed into it, but maybe I need to because she is an absolute ridiculous, crazy person. It feels like a Kevin Ryan topic. Anyway, he'll be on before the end of the year. Till then, this is your old pal Justin Robert Young saying some shows talk about politics, others talk about politics, and still more discuss politics, but this is the only show that dares discuss. Hall 3.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
Dog and Pony Show audio.
Bye-bye. 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 You gotta look. I'm starting to doubt that you are the child of two influencers if you don't like looking at yourself in the camera, Beanie. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.